Hey students, how are you all? Once again, welcome back to the online English classes. In today's video, we will resume our discussion of the chapter Who Will Be NINGTHOU. 3 videos on this chapter have already been uploaded. If you have not watched the videos, you should watch the videos as soon as possible, because if you don't, you will not understand this particular video. But like every other online class, we will first have a look at all the important things that were discussed in the previous video. In the very beginning, we discussed that 12 years later, Sanatombi was born to the NINGTHOU and Lema. So Sanatombi is a girl, and after she was born, the royal couple had 4 children. One day, the king decided to choose the Tangi NINGTHOU. Now, what does the word mean? The word Tangi NINGTHOU is the Manipuri word for the future king. So, the present NINGTHOU is looking for a successor. He wants to choose a successor. The ministers in the court suggested that Sanajoba should be the future king, as he was the eldest. So the ministers believed in the old custom where the eldest son of the king should be the future king. Okay, but the NINGTHOU disagreed. He did not believe this. Instead, he believed that the worthiest among all his children should be the future ruler. And as a result of this, a horse race was organized to declare the Tangi NINGTHOU. Now, in today's video, we will find out what happens in the horse race. So, let us start our discussion. But then, a strange thing happened. Okay, so as we saw last, that a horse race was organized to find out or to choose the Tangi NINGTHOU. But after this, what happened? A strange thing happened. Now, what is so strange, we will find out later. But let us first see what the word strange actually means. Strange means something that is not normal or something that surprises us. Okay, so in the picture you can see these people are looking at something which they find strange, and from their expression you can understand that they are quite surprised or rather shocked. Okay, so whenever you see something that is a bit different, that is a bit odd, that is not normal, it is called strange. Now let us find out the strange thing. Sanajoba, Sanayema and Sanatomba, all 3 of them finished the race together. Oh, now this race was supposed to determine the future ruler of Kangleipak. But now that they all have finished the race together, it becomes difficult to find out the ruler, right? They were expert riders, and all 3 reached the finish line at the same time. Okay, let us first see what the words expert and riders mean. An expert is a person with extensive knowledge or ability in a given subject. So, whenever you come across a person who knows a lot about any particular field of knowledge, that person can be called an expert. Okay, so like your teachers are the experts of your subjects, of their concerned subjects. Okay, if you go and meet a doctor, you will find that the doctor is an expert in his own field of treatment. Okay, if you go and meet an engineer, you'll also find him to be an expert. So any person who knows a lot about any particular subject, it doesn't mean that the expert would know everything. No, there has to be a specific subject, there has to be a specific field of knowledge where the person can be an expert. Now let us talk about the word rider. Any person who rides a horse or a motorcycle is a rider. So in the first picture you can see there is a horse rider, and in the second picture you can see there is a bike rider. So both these people are riding something. They are using something to transport their body from one place to another. Yes, that is why these are called riders. So first one is the horse rider, and this rider is what you should keep in mind when you are reading this chapter, Who Will Be NINGTHOU. They were expert riders and all three reached the finish line at the same time. I hope you remember what the finish line was. Yes, it was a banyan tree. And what is a banyan tree called in Manipuri? It is called a kongnang. Alright, so since these three boys, Sanajoba, Sanayema and Sanatomba, they were all princes, they were expert horse riders, and naturally all three of them finished the race at the same time, or they reached the finishing line at the same time. So there was great excitement. Naturally, everyone would be excited, whenever we see a race, even when there is a sports competition going on in our school, we get very excited, right? And this was a horse race and there were horse riders, and especially something that will declare the future king. So naturally there was great excitement. Look at them, the people shouted, Shagol Tauba Nupa, such fine horsemen. So look at them, the people are shouting, they're brimming with joy, they're brimming with excitement. Now the words Shagol Tauba Nupa, these three words are the Manipuri words for such fine horsemen. Now students, don't rely on my pronunciation because I do not speak Manipuri, so I would not know. I'm just trying to read out the words like they are written in English. So the people were very excited. Yes, they are, they're talking among each other and they're telling each other, they're shouting each other to look at the horse riders, and they're also calling them fine horsemen, Shagol Tauba Nupa. But one question remained. Who would be the Tanginando? So you see, the purpose of organizing this horse race was to find out the future king. But now that all the three boys or all the three participants have finished the race at the same time, the main purpose has not been served, right? So again, they would have to do something which would help the Nindo and the Lema to find out the future king, right? So the Nindo and Lema turned to their sons. The Nindo said, Sanajoba, Sanayema and Sanatomba, you have proved that you are fine horsemen. Do something different, each one of you, so that we can decide who will be Tangi Nindo. Alright, now there is a change in the game. Now that they have proved themselves to be fine horsemen and they have finished the race together, now these people have to do something unique. They have to do something very different from each other. Okay, so that their parents can easily decide who the future Nindo will be. Suddenly, Sanajoba mounted his horse. Okay, mounted. This seems to be a strange word, right? Let us see the meaning of this word. The word mount is a verb which means to climb or to get upon something. In this picture, you can see there's a woman who is mounting a horse. So, as you can see, there are some steps with the help of which she is mounting the horse. And actually, these steps are used by people who are learning to ride a horse. Experts, they don't need steps. Okay, so probably this woman is also learning the art of horse riding. But students, one thing you have to keep in mind is that mount is also a noun. Okay, in other words, a small hill is also called a mount. But in this chapter, the word mounted has been used, which is the past tense of the verb mount. Suddenly, Sanajoba mounted his horse and held his spear straight in front of him. Okay, so now that we know what mounting a horse means or how Sanajoba must have mounted his horse, let us see what holding a spear looks like. A spear is a long stick with a sharp tip used as a weapon for throwing at something. The picture that you can see is that of a Maratha warrior. Okay, so you will learn more about Marathas when you go higher up in the classes. You learn about the Marathas in history. Okay, so this is a painting actually of a Maratha warrior where he is riding a horse, as well as he's also holding a spear in his hand. Okay, and maybe this is a painting from a war field or a battlefield where he is pointing the spear at somebody. Okay, so the same thing was done by Sana Jauba, the eldest son, as well. Alright, so Sana Jauba not just mounted his horse, he was also holding a spear in his hand, and the spear was straight in front of him. Alright, now that you know what a spear means, you also must be wondering, what is Sana Jauba actually going to do, right? He looked around. There was a hush among people. Okay, what is a hush? Let us see. The word hush is a very easy word, and its meaning is also very simple. It means to become quiet. So when it is said that there was a hush among people, it means that all the people fell silent. Alright, let us see why. There was a hush among people. Now students, you have just now seen the meaning of the word spear, and also you've seen the picture of it. You also probably have understood what exactly is it used for. This is the reason why there was a hush among the people. They were very excited in the beginning. Yes, but now they are saying that after the Ninthou's instruction, Sana Jauba has all of a sudden he has mounted his horse and is holding a spear in his hand. So now the people are, they are maybe becoming tensed. They are also thinking that what exactly is he going to do with this? Is he going to throw it at somebody? Is he going to hurt somebody? So there are many thoughts, coming up in the minds of the people. So if you find out a person in the market holding a gun in his hand, what would be your reaction? Everyone would be silent, everyone would be like tensed, everyone would be in they'd be all nervous. So something like that was also happening among these people. They said, what is Sana Jauba, the eldest, going to do? They thought to themselves. Yes, so this is a very intriguing question. What is he exactly going to do? Alright, so let's just keep our discussion till here. We will find out in the next video what happens next. Now it's time for you to go through a quick summary of all the important points that were just now discussed. In the very beginning, we saw that a horse race was organized to choose the Tanginendo, or the future ruler of Kangleipak. But all the three brothers, Sana Jauba, Sana Yema and Sana Tomba, finished the race together. Now, since all the brothers finished the race together, the question of choosing the future king still remained unanswered. So, the Ninthu instructed his sons to do something different, to do something unique which would help them to choose their future ruler. Finally, Sana Jauba, the eldest son, mounted a horse with a spear in his hand. And at last, we also saw that Shagol, Thauba, Nupa are the Manipuri words for such fine horsemen. So we have ended our discussion with Sana Jauba on a horse and a spear in his hand. We will find out what happens next. Now it's time for you to answer some very easy questions based on today's discussion. The first question is, what was strange about the horse race? Number 2, why was there great excitement among the people? Number 3, what was the Ninthu's instruction for his sons? And number 4 is, what did Sana Jauba do? Students, these are very easy questions, and the answers to these questions would also be very easy. I hope you'll not have any difficulty. And even if you have any difficulty, then please go through the chapter once again, read it thoroughly, and if needed, also you can watch the video once again. With this, we come to the end of today's discussion on the chapter Who Will Be Ninthu. The rest of the chapter would be discussed in the upcoming few videos. Until then, stay safe and goodbye.